In mid-April 1935, a tiger shark was captured approximately 3 kilometers away from Coogee Beach in Sydney, Australia. It was then transported to the Coogee Aquarium Baths, where it would make a wonderful attraction for the following Anzac Day weekend. However, within a week, the shark fell ill and regurgitated in front of a small audience, revealing the left hand and forearm of a man with a tattoo, floating in the pool. Prior to its capture, the tiger shark had consumed a smaller shark, which was the original culprit for swallowing the arm. The arm was identified as belonging to James Jim Smith, a former boxer and minor criminal from England born in 1890. Smith had been reported missing since April 7, 1935. The identification was confirmed through fingerprint analysis, and his wife Gladys Smith, and brother Edward Smith, positively identified the arm and the distinctive tattoo it bore. Upon closer inspection, it was determined that the arm had been intentionally removed using a knife, escalating the case into a murder investigation. However, the initial progress made by the police was impeded when the owners of the Coogee Aquarium killed the shark and removed its internal organs in an effort to search for additional body parts. Reginald William Lloyd Holmes, a prominent Sydney businessman, emerged as a primary suspect in the early investigations. He had gained notoriety for his engagement in fraudulent schemes and smuggling operations, along with his successful management of a boat-building family business in Lavender Bay. Holmes had previously employed Smith on multiple occasions for insurance scams, one of which involved intentionally sinking an excessively insured pleasure cruiser, named Pathfinder near Terrigal in 1934. Following this incident, Smith and Holmes entered into a criminal partnership with Patrick Francis Brady, a former serviceman and known forger. Using specimen signatures obtained from Holmes' acquaintances and clients, Brady would forge checks in small amounts against their bank accounts, which Smith and Brady would then cash. Subsequently, the police were able to establish that Smith had been blackmailing Holmes, adding a new dimension to the case. On April 7, 1935, Smith was last seen socializing and playing cards with Brady at the Cecil Hotel in Cronulla, a suburb in southern Sydney. Prior to his disappearance, Smith had informed his wife that he was going fishing. It was later revealed that Brady had been renting a small cottage in Cronulla during the time Smith went missing, leading the police to suspect that Smith was murdered at that location. Extensive searches conducted by the Navy and Air Force in Port Hacking and Gunnamatta Bay failed to locate the rest of Smith's body. On May 16, Brady was arrested and charged with Smith's murder. A taxicab driver testified that he had driven Brady from Cronulla to Holmes' address on the day Smith disappeared. The witness recalled that Brady appeared disheveled, had his hand concealed in a pocket, and exhibited signs of fear. Initially, Holmes denied any connection to Brady. However, 4 days later, on May 20, 1935, Holmes made a dramatic turn of events. He entered his boat shed and attempted to cause self-harm by shooting himself in the head with a .32 caliber pistol. The bullet, however, flattened against his forehead bone, leaving him stunned. After falling into the water, he regained consciousness and sought refuge in his speedboat, leading the police on a pursuit across Sydney Harbour for approximately 4 hours. Eventually, he was apprehended and taken to the hospital. After recovering, Holmes made a decision to cooperate with the police, and disclosed that Brady was responsible for killing Smith, dismembering his body, and placing it inside a trunk that was later disposed of in Gunnamatta Bay. Holmes further revealed that Brady had visited his residence, showing him the severed arm as a threat, and demanding an immediate payment. He also admitted that after Brady left, he traveled to the coastal suburb of Maroubra in Sydney, and discarded Smith's arm into the ocean waves. On the evening of June 11, 1935, Holmes drew cash from his bank account, before leaving home late at night. He informed his wife that he had an appointment with someone, and exercised caution as he departed, with his wife accompanying him to the door of his Nash sedan. The next morning, his lifeless body was found in his car on Hickson Road, having suffered 3 close-range gunshot wounds. Although the crime scene was made to look like a suicide, forensic investigators had unwavering certainty that Holmes was in fact a murder victim. On June 12, 1935, the coroner's inquest into Smith's death commenced at the City Coroner's Court under the direction of Mr. E. Oram. Holmes was scheduled to provide testimony later that morning, and despite being the primary witness for the inquest, he had not received police protection. Clive Evatt, the lawyer representing Brady, argued before the coroner that there was insufficient evidence to proceed with the inquest. He also claimed that an arm alone did not constitute a complete body, and suggested the possibility that Smith minus his arm could still be alive. With the key witness Holmes deceased, and the lack of substantial evidence against Brady, the case against him was weakened. The murder theory proposed that Smith was murdered by Brady under the orders of gangster Edward Frederick Wayman, who had been arrested in 1934 for attempted bank fraud using a forged check, and was later involved in a bank robbery, possibly due to information provided by Smith to the police. Being exposed as a police informant might have made Smith a target for assassination. Brady was charged with Smith's murder, but was ultimately acquitted. Throughout the following 3 decades, Brady consistently maintained his innocence and denied any involvement in Smith's murder until his death in 1965. With the pieces of the puzzle scattered and the key witness dead, the truth may never be fully revealed.